The inspiration this season, when Phillip took me through the collection, a lot of it is Japanese inspired. You'll see fabrics of kimonos and, and architecture of the structure of the clothing. So I wanted that to read in the makeup. So with that being said, skin is with a velvet texture of a foundation, which is really lovely. Brows are kind of lightly groomed with a brow cream. And then on the eye, which is really the emphasis, it's more about like a bit of architecture and a hint of architecture on the eye with a kohl eyeliner. The shape is kind of a half moon. It goes, from the beginning of the eye to the end and then wraps around underneath. And then the waterline is filled in with a concealer pencil as an eyeliner to pop the shape of the eye. It's really about, a black eyeliner that wraps around the eye and give it a hint of architecture and individuality to each girl.
We're doing 2 different nail looks alternating on the girls, and it's a kind of like an optical half moon and an optical horseshoe shape. And basically we made decals before the show. We hand painted them on wax paper and we're transferring them onto everybody's nails.
It's quite simple. It's just a little bit different to what we've normally done for Phillip in the past. Generally we've done a lot of things more with texture and a lot more kind of organic. This season it's kind of the opposite, it's a lot more architectural. It's very Japanese inspired, almost that kind of sort of Harajuku kind of over sort of processed hair, super ironed, very, very sheer, very graphic, very straight, and kind of giving this almost sort of veil effect through the front. So just over ironed hair, very simple, just more of an effect, that's all.
The inspiration's always the same. It's the 3.1 woman, and this season I wanted to kind of create more of an environment for her, something that was very focused and immediate and intense. And it's quite different from the spring show that we did that felt more ephemeral. But what they had in common was grounded in reality. And this show was about the reality of the lady boss, the women that are in charge and take life and as it comes and just have fun with it. You can see with this collection too, there was also a big Japanese inspiration, and it was kind of my fixation with Japanese objects, and I always thought that I was Japanese in another life. It was quite simple actually, quite simple and surprisingly put together. It started with all the traditional houndstooth and the Peter Pools, and it went into kind of the bonded velvets and the pleated lamés and the kind of dry military twills, and then it ended up into more pinstripes and beautiful satins. So kind of you saw from literally work to sensuality,
This is going to be one of my favorite collections of the week. We saw something different here. We saw a beautiful use of tailoring. We saw, he's known for his upper contemporary line, but this is really designer level clothing that can sit anywhere amongst the heavy hitters in terms of price and quality. He kind of came in at this great price point where it's not as expensive as Chloe or Gucci or Prada. But all of the things that you want in a designer collection is here.
I think that from look one, how the authority of the outfit of taking very traditional menswear and cutting across kind of gender specific and purpose too, and we combine it with the military liners that we cut with kimono necklines, and I think that even the pace of the music, the pace of the girls walking all the way to the end where they had the play suits, it's kind of quite nice liberation from business to play.
I'm wearing like a really long coat in dark green with a sweater under it, and because I'm really tall, it looks really good on me.
My particular favorite were the sleeveless coats with the stitching that kind of went down the sides and down the back. Beautiful, fantastic coats, great use of leather, and I love the ending with the spattering of sequins on the dresses, which just looks so cool. And I just think that this is the way a cool girl wants to look today. She can be sophisticated, she can go out at night, she can go to work in these clothes, she can do so many different things. It's a really, really smart collection. It will be one of my favorites all week.
Every day it evolves. People always say, "Oh, you're always changing," and I'm like, "No, I'm always evolving." And I think that in fashion and in life and in anything, you have to move and you have to evolve. And right or wrong, no matter what you take a chance and don't stay still, because once you stay still, that's usually in a coffin.